Real estate market expectations in the Sarasota area. How are things going to go this year in 2026 compared to a pretty difficult 2025? So is there much more optimism as we enter USA's 250th birthday? Let's go through some data and my own predictions and see what you think. So yes, 2026 is here. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas with your families. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling good about 2026. I'm feeling optimistic. Like I said, we have 250 years of God Bless USA and leaving behind that awful British Empire back in 1776. We have the World Cup coming to USA in the summer, a tournament and a sport that many of you don't care about. I totally understand. But to us soccer lovers, it is Mecca. It is absolute everything. It's a tournament every 4 years, and the US are lucky enough to have the opportunity to host it because the UK, England hasn't hosted it since 1966, and this is USA's second time of hosting it. But yeah, I'm going to try and get to a couple of games. If I can get some tickets, I certainly will try. So if you can do your best and not call me around June, that will be wonderful. But anyway, other than the World Cup and other than the USA, 250 years, we have inflation coming down. We can see that with gas prices, a little bit with interest rates, but I think that's going to continue in 2026. And it just feels like there's a bit more general confidence in the air when it comes to the real estate market in general, especially where I am here in Sarasota. But hey, let me know your thoughts. Maybe you're feeling all doom and gloom about things, but I'm feeling pretty good. So before we talk about 26, let's just recap on 2025 because it was a tough year, and I mean a really tough year. Probably our toughest year we've had in 6 or 7 years, 2025. We did pretty well. We sold 30 homes, but we normally sell between 40 and 60, and it was very up and down. It would be busy one week and it would be quiet for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Busy again, then quiet again. But we worked with a lot of people that just didn't end up moving forwards for one reason or another. But out of all of our listings, we actually sold every single home that we had. And at times, I did not think that was going to be the case. We had 4 homes that were close to 200 days on the market, and there was a couple of others that were over 100 days. And when you're used to a market or hotter markets where homes sell like that and you get multiple offers, it gets difficult and sellers get very tired. It becomes frustrating doing a lot of open houses, a lot of video marketing. It's costing us a lot more to sell a home, a lot more effort involved, and it's demoralizing, and you've got to keep upbeat and really just keep your spirits up. But yeah, we got there in the end with all of them, but just in general, it was a slower year. And it was really a market for the motivated. It really was. If you were a seller, you had to be motivated to sell. If you were just testing out the market, it wasn't going to work. You weren't going to get you weren't going to get under contract because you weren't going to get any offers. And for buyers, the ones that were in the market and making good offers, they will be rewarded because there's plenty of buyers out there last year that didn't pull the trigger, but the ones that did got some fantastic deals. So I'm always saying, look, never try and time the market, always move when it's best for you. But I still seem to work with many, many people that try to time the market. Now, just to share some stats with you, the inventory really spiked in around March to June of 2025, and we were over 10,000 homes. That was a lot more than we have seen in a long time, even beyond any of the stats that I can see going back 4 or 5 years in the area. So we had a lot of inventory, and slowly that started to come down. But in September of this year, we had the lowest average sale price of around 560,000, and that is the lowest that we have seen in years for our market. Again, if you go all the way up these numbers, going back to 2021, we haven't seen anything until we go off the chart. So it probably is the lowest since it's been since 21. And since then, it's gone up a little bit. You've got to remember, we are in prime time season right now. Things are normally busier here in the winter when people come from out of state, from the colder climates. So things are picking up a little bit and inventory has come down, as you can see. But yes, we've got lower sales prices, guys, and inventory is starting to come down. So it's still a fantastic time to buy a home if you are in the market. Now, Just to go over some other stats with you, you can also see that the average amount of days on the market right now is 101. You know, if you go back a little bit of time ago, it would have been certainly in the double digits, even the single digits, because homes were flying off the shelves. But right now, homes are selling for around 95% of the asking price. So that's a good number. You know, that's not bad. I mean, over years gone by, you can see that we've been at 97%, 98%. But yes, we're at 95% now. But the higher the price you go, if you're over the $1 million price point, it goes down to about 93%. But in general, right now, we're at 95. What these stats also show us is that we have 8,093 homes on the market right now, which is a lot of homes. However, that doesn't tell the full picture, because although there's 8,000 homes on the market, what we're seeing right now, or at least what I'm seeing right now, and I live and breathe this market, is a lot of that 8,000, and obviously I cannot pinpoint even a percentage of how many, but a lot of them are just crap homes, guys. They're just not good. They're either overpriced, they are dated, they're either not in great neighborhoods, they are just undesirable for whatever reason. They may not be the right floor plans. They're not exciting anybody, is what I mean. They're really not. And a lot of people, around this time last year, I came out of a video and I said, guys, you really need to entertain the resale market because there's a lot more opportunity there. And within around 3 or 4 months, I kind of changed my tune because all the builders started coming out heavily with a lot better incentives, especially when it came to closing costs and interest rates and throwing in impact windows and things like that. And I kind of changed my tune because I was showing a lot of resale homes and they weren't really exciting me. I'm still feeling a little bit like that. I'm still showing a lot of resale homes and I'm not wowed by much. Don't get me wrong, there's 8,000 homes out there. Of course, there's going to be good ones, but the best ones are selling quickly, and you may not be able to see that from these stats. You may be looking at homes on the market that have been on for 100, 200, 300 days. I promise you, they're sitting there because they're either overpriced or they're just not doing it for anybody. Which really leads me on to new construction, because a lot of home buyers are still gravitating towards new construction. And although the home prices are going to be a bit higher up there, they're exciting people and they're the homes that people want. And I've had so much experience of this again in 2025, where I'm showing resale homes, I'm showing new homes. And although new homes are going to be probably 10%, maybe 15% higher than a lot of comparable homes in the resale space that are a few years older, people will pay for and go above and beyond for what they really love and what is exciting them. It could be the amenities, it could be the location, the lifestyle, but a lot of the times it's what's included in these homes, and we're still seeing a lot of that. So when people are really saying to me, oh, the market's really coming down, it is with the resale parts. In certain spaces, it really is. But when it comes to new homes, all of these developments are still selling. And if you come here, I get the same observations all the time where people say, God, there's a lot of construction going on, right? And there is, because all of these new homes are selling. They might not be flying off the shelves. They may not be just, you know, selling like hotcakes, and, these builders aren't selling above their quotas month on month like they were during COVID. But the majority of them are still hitting their sales targets. So it's difficult to get an outstanding deal. You will still get a good deal for a lot of these, but a lot of the times I'm finding that buyers are a little bit underwhelmed by some of the offers they're being presented, and they're either just turning a blind eye or waiting for things to improve, when I don't think in 2026 things are really going to improve that much for home buyers when it comes to new construction. And I say that because I'm seeing the base prices of these homes going up. You know, I was working with Homes by West Bay recently in Star Farms. We were negotiating with them, and out of nowhere, the sales agent said to us, oh, by the way, the base price is going up 20,000 on Monday. And it was like Saturday or Sunday. And this was like late November. And we were like, is it really? Or, you know, we were kind of entertaining other builders at the same time. Their prices weren't coming up at that point. But then, yeah, lo and behold, on Monday, they went up 20,000. And they came back and said on January the 1st, they're going to go up another 20,000. If some builders are selling homes a little bit above their quotas, they're going to do this. And what they're going to do is they may increase their incentives on the back end a little bit. Like they said to us, the price has gone up 20,000, but we can increase our incentives by 10,000. And we're like, wow, thanks. We're basically 10,000 out of pocket, and we're going to be another 20,000 out of pocket if we wait until January the 1st. Do not be surprised, guys, if the base prices of these homes continue to rise. It costs more and more for these builders to build a home now, and because they are selling, they will increase the prices. It's as simple as that. Now, like I said, you will get some really good deals, and I have seen it where the base prices have gone up and the incentives have gone up to match, depending on how many homes they're selling. But I would be surprised to see new construction prices coming down. And if these homes continue to sell well, all that will happen is the incentives will go from here, you're getting 30,000 in flex cash, 20,000 off the lot, you're getting your closing costs paid, and they start to dwindle and cut back. And we've seen that before plenty of times. So do not be surprised by that in the new construction space. But yes, in general, the incentives that are really still going right now are closing cost credits, flex cash, and interest rate buy downs. We're seeing a lot of that. As I've mentioned before, the most outstanding deals are always with quick move-in homes, or homes that have already been predetermined of what you're going to get. Lennar are big on that, DR Horton are big on that, where they know exactly what home's going on what lot. With a quick move-in home, every builder has quick move-in homes. The further along it is in construction, then you're going to get a better deal. Okay, it's just the way that it always is. If you are designing and customizing things from scratch, you're going to get a good deal, but you're not going to get a fantastic deal. But what we're seeing really is flex cash. We are seeing the interest rates being brought down, and we're seeing closing costs either covered or getting a good sizable credit for. I've had some really good success with MI homes towards the end of 2025. I've seen them giving anywhere from like 75 to 80,000 to over 100,000, depending on the size of the home, and it makes a big difference. So I am seeing some good deals out there. Just depends on what you're looking for and what community you're looking at and how well they're selling at the time. So I feel in 2026 we're going to continue to steadily increase sales year on year from what we have over the last couple of years. It's been difficult over the last 2 years or so, guys. The people that we've helped are mainly the people that need to move. We've had a lot of people that are interested but couldn't really justify it. We've also got a lot of people that we're working with at the moment that have had itchy feet for over 18 months now. I think we're going to see a lot more movement from those people over the coming year. And one of my biggest predictions for 2026 is I think we're going to see a lot more movement in that middle ground from around 700,000 to $1 million. I've said this plenty of times on my channel before. That is the middle ground where people just have not been moving. If we look at these stats right here, you can see that the market share from like 700,000 to around $1 million is around 10%. So not very much. If you look at all of the activity, it is really anything from like 500,000 or lower, or $1 million higher. That 600,000 is a bit more activity, but really that 700 to $1 million, there's just been a real lack of people actually moving forward. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that. I think people are just overweighting and waiting. And yes, I feel like we're going to have a better year in 2026 than what we will in 2025. We've already got 7 homes under contract as of now at the start of January, which is more than we had this time last year for 2025. And I've got plenty of appointments coming up and meeting people, more listings hitting the market. So I'm feeling pretty good about 2026. So yeah, as I always say, guys, please don't try and time the market. Just really hone in on your best options. Give me a call and I'll be more than happy to help and go through your search criteria and really just narrow down what you're looking for. I don't want to tell you to rule out the resale space. Of course you shouldn't. One thing you can get in the resale space, of course, are homes with a pool, better locations sometimes, and also you can get the prices down. I'm just giving you my experiences of showing a lot of these homes right now, I'm just feeling a bit meh, and the price needs to come down 50,000 or 100,000 depending on where it's priced. And I think that what you'll see is the sellers that are really motivated, they will come down more aggressively on a shorter time frame. Month on month, you'll see them drop their price by 25,000, 50,000, that kind of thing, and avoid doing these little Walmart price drops of like $10 to $1,000, which is just crazy. So there are my thoughts on 2026 and how the year is going to go. And I'm going to have a few more videos coming out soon, guys. I've been a bit slow on content in December, but I've got some really good videos coming up. And I am putting together a new series, actually, a video series for new construction homes only for the time being, and giving you all of my thoughts and insights to working with builders over the last 10 years, giving you tips on everything, whether you choose to work with me or not. This is going to be a mini video series, around 10 videos or so, maybe 12 or 13, and it's really just going to be a little playlist within YouTube, which is a private link. Basically, I've got to give you the password to access, and it's just going to go through everything from the inspections to choosing the right house, to do builders like working with realtors, to the contracts, how everything works when it comes to new construction. And if I have success with it, I'm going to do another series on working in the resale space. So I'm also going to go over upgrades, things you should do, what you shouldn't do, things you should do after closing, all of that good stuff. And I'm working on that now. I've already got 5 videos together. I'm hoping to get the next 5 done within the next 2 weeks. So you will see me advertising that quite a lot. And I've got another video coming out soon on just my journey of Florida real estate over the last 10 years. I've lived in Florida now for 12 years, believe it or not. It has flown by. And for anybody who is out of state and doesn't really know our market, maybe considering us to other areas of Florida, I just have to say that all of these stats show just how wonderful this area is and how desired it is. I mean, if you look at the average price point for a home over $1 million in our area, it is over $2 million. Now, what that says to me is that this area has so much to offer, and if you're investing in real estate here, whether it's your primary residence, a second home, an investment home, so many people want to be in the greater Sarasota area. We have so much on offer here, and I absolutely love living here. So yes, that's just my thoughts, guys, on 2026 and my little update at the moment. But yes, all of my contact information is below. If you can please like this video and subscribe to the channel, it will be much appreciated. I always appreciate the support. And yes, you will hear from me very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in.